first of all, we are heading again to Nelson because Graham's auntie is 100 years old this weekend, so we're having 2 nights in Nelson and then heading across back to Picton and then on to the ferry. So you probably won't get much of our trip to Nelson because I've done a couple of videos on that already, so we will probably catch up with you again on the getting near to the ferry at Picton. So after a great time in Nelson, we are back at Taranaki NZMCA Park here in Picton, all ready to head off to the ferry. The good thing about the Taranaki NZMCA Park is that it's not too far from Picton, so we got there at good time and queued up, ready to get loaded onto the ferry. We're off, leaving Picton, heading to Wellington. The voyage takes about 3.5 hours. The first part is usually very smooth through Queen Charlotte Sound, but then you get into Cook Strait and sometimes it can be quite rough, but on this occasion it was a beautiful smooth crossing and we arrived into Wellington just as the sun was setting. It was really beautiful. Disembarking from the ferry and heading off to our overnight stop, which was at the Plimmerton NZMCA Park, just north of Wellington. And our next stop was at Waitarere Beach, just for the night. We went and had a quick look at the ocean and then onwards through the various small towns until we get to Whanganui, where we had a break for lunch at Castle Cliff Beach.
Pumice on the beach.
There's quite a bit of it, isn't there? Lots and lots of this pumice. Very light. And this is what we do when we're on the beach. We love looking for interesting shells, interesting bits of driftwood, anything like that, and a lovely piece of green sea glass. So that will be coming home with us. Lovely. This is our stop for tonight. It's Wainu Beach. up here at Waverley Beach, up on the cliff looking out over the sea, and taking a wee wander down to the beach. It's full tide at the moment, but it looks like there's some interesting cliffs, so we might have to wait until low tide this afternoon and go and have a look. Time to move on from a windy and wet Waverley. We really have brought the bad weather with us. Mind you, it is the middle of winter, so you can't expect too much. On our way through to our planned stop at Hawera, we pulled down to the river mouth at Patia and had a look, see what was going on down there. It was a bit wild and windy down there as well, but still a very nice spot. Our travels around this part of the Taranaki coast were hampered quite a bit by the weather. Unfortunately, the wind was very strong and we had some patches of serious rain, but we still managed to get out and about when we could, but didn't see as much as we would have liked. Time to move on again. We've had 2 days here in Hawera, this lovely little boutique camping ground. The weather's been particularly disgusting, high winds and lots of rain. And apparently somewhere over there is a big mountain, but we haven't seen that yet. That would be Mount Taranaki. Just left the Hawera motor camp and just going for a wee walk down to the beach here at Waihi Beach. It's the walkway. Interesting rock strata along there. There we are. Down there is the beach. Waihi Beach near Hawera. Lovely rainbow in the distance, hopefully signifying the end of our horrible weather. What about that for a cliff? I don't think that'll be there much longer. Climbing up the hill again. It's quite steep. Probably doesn't show it on camera, but it is quite steep. Heading west through a couple of little towns, we had pulled into a place called Kaupokonui, which we had thought we might stay there, but when we got down to closer to the ocean, the wind was really strong and we finished up just making it our lunch spot. We had lunch inside the motorhome here, didn't even really go for a walk, it was so windy. So we planned to move on then to Opunaki, hoping it would be a little bit more sheltered there, which it was, and we stayed here at the motor camp right on the beach. This is Opunaki Beach. What a very gloomy, blustery day. Very interesting sky out there. It's time to leave Taranaki. Had a quick stop here to recharge batteries and catch up with some laundry. Very nice little spot. A little bit windy today, but at least we have blue sky, something we haven't seen much of in the last week or so. Pretty windy up here because it's pretty exposed. The sign tells us there's a mountain out there in the distance somewhere. Still yet to see it. After leaving Taranaki, it was off to visit Cape Egmont Lighthouse. After lunch, inside the motorhome, out of the wind, we walked up the road to visit the lighthouse. The lighthouse has been shining its light out over the Taranaki coast since 1881. It was originally erected on Mana Island in Wellington Harbour, but it proved the incorrect place for a lighthouse, so they moved it on to here at Cape Egmont in segments. Graham appears to be quite keen to get a good shot from a different angle. This is where we're staying tonight. It's the Cape Egmont Boat Club. We've even got our own little lighthouse. Awesome spot, right on the sea. This is, you see the boat ramp, and that is the Tasman Sea again. Just walking down the boat ramp. And then we look back around towards the yacht club building. It isn't the most brilliant sunset in the world, but it's a nice, relatively calm evening tonight as the sun goes down here at Cape Egmont. We even got the bikes out for a bit of a spin. After a couple of lovely days at Cape Egmont, it was on to New Plymouth. This is our stopover for the next couple of nights. Lake Rotumanu, just near New Plymouth. And there we are, 3 or 4 others. There's about half a dozen caravans and campers of various sizes here tonight. It's a lovely spot to be. Another wet day here at Lake Rotumanu in New Plymouth. We've been here for 4 days. This is a freedom camping park, so provided by the council, so we don't have to pay anything to stay here. Yeah, beautiful location, just shame about the weather. We had planned to cycle from the lake right round to the centre of New Plymouth, but the weather was so disgusting and windy it wasn't really an option, so we just took a drive as we were leaving New Plymouth just to have a look what we missed out on. this is a walkway that I do think goes right around to the city, but the weather's been so bad we haven't really had a chance to get the bikes out today. We're going to have a look at the Rewa Bridge. This distinctive bridge was opened in June 2010. It was built with special agreement with the Ngāti Tāwhirakura Hapu. It's apparently the site of a historic battle of them during the New Zealand Musket Wars and is the burial ground of Chief Rewa. So here we are on the New Plymouth foreshore, and it is raining. The sea is a bit wild and woolly. This is the end of, or part of the bike trail that we had hoped to bike, and that is the famous Lenlai wind wand. There's no wind today, so it's not swaying, but yeah, miserable day. The weather finally improved and we moved on to this lovely little place called Punairu. Uh-oh, looks like there's driftwood. Perhaps we should turn back now. Amazing tree stump.
We need this one.
Oh, and we need this one. I'm in agreement there.
Plants in the holes.
Shame it's firmly embedded in a pile of dirt and attached to a trunk, which is attached to a stump. Not happening. You never know what you're going to find on the beach. Here we have a little duckling. That sounds like I have one behind me too. Or is that just an old duck? Just looking at the amazing patterns on this piece of driftwood. Nature never ceases to amaze. And I've just picked up this hagstone. It's quite amazing. Definite hole through there and another one through there. Right, I've just picked one up, which is quite cool too. And this is our view from up the top. Might be a nice sunset tonight. And to the other cliff face. Stage we were planning to head north on State Highway 3, but because of all the wet weather there'd been some slips and the road was closed, so we had to backtrack all the way back to Whanganui and then head north from there. So we had an unexpected trip ahead of us, a bit longer than we'd planned, but our next video will show our further adventures on our way to Northland. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you'd like to.